Discussion on Kibla FM. My name is Fuad Omar. Today's topic: corruption. Corruption. Who has or had the most corrupt regime between the current government of Nana Akufo-Addo and that of the ex-president John Dramani Mahama? That's our topic for this evening on Kibla FM. Log on to our website www.kiblafm.com. Grab the details, the phone numbers, call in and become a part of this presentation. That's right, because you matter. We want to know what you have for observation because you're part of the system. If you have lived under either the current system or the old, we want to know, hear from you, who has the worst system in terms of corruption. With us at this moment, our brother from United Kingdom, Brother Razak Amwakohene. I say hello to Brother Amwakohene and welcome to Kibla FM.
Hello, sir. How are you doing?
Doing great. How you doing? How's the family?
I'm very good, my friend. The family. Thanks for having me once again.
Awesome. You know, we have a very sensitive topic this evening. Very sensitive. Because no one wants to be referred to as a corrupt person. And no government want to, win that trophy. That award for being the most corrupt, government. It's one title that neither this current government or the old government wants. But believe it or not, it's a practice that we have in the system. The question, however, is who has the worst, corrupted or the most corrupt system? Is it the current government of Nana Akufo-Addo? Or was it during the time of former President John Dramani Mahama? When we say corruption, to be brief, you can define it as a dishonest or fraudulent conduct by people in power, politicians or anyone in power. It could be either government, public official, in the private sector, typically involving bribery. But it can also mean that you manipulate a system. You manipulate or you change the meanings or the value of things. Most of the time to benefit you or a group of people or to take, kickbacks. These are all part of those corrupt system. Brother Amakuhene, you have the 5 minutes to open this presentation on Kibla FM. Between current President Nana Akufo-Addo, His Excellency, and former President John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, who has or had the most corrupt government? Whose regime is more corrupt? That's our open discussion topic on Kibla FM this moment. Go ahead, the world is listening to you.
Thank you once again. I say hello to all the listeners. Well, you start by saying nobody want to be titled you are corrupt or maybe the name of corruption. Nobody want to associate him or herself to it. It's very simple, isn't it? You don't steal, you don't call you corrupt. So you should stop stealing and you stop saying you are corrupt. By the way, come back to the question. First of all, my opinion is just opinion, and a perception and what we really had under John Dramani Mahama, President, on His Excellency. I think corruption was rampant in Ghana and his government, actually. Akufo-Addo government, yes, you hear here and there some of it. So both of them got that same perception, but I think Mahama government was more corrupt than this particular government, actually. Mahama started, or he continued from Atamil's administration, and So more or less, he had about 5 or 6 years. So, but I combined the two, so they were in power for 8 years. What happened under that administration was very terrible. So it's hard to say that Akufo-Addo government is corrupt than Mahama government. There were so many of them. It started from uh, judgment debt, from Wyoming, the Asofo Tons, so many of them. So many of them. You can see it was planned 10 to steal from Ghana. You know, so after that we had bad branding. We have Jida. We have so many of them. So many of them. Eventually, Mahama was investigated by his own president. Anyway, there was a deal plane. I think they bought plane from Brazil, and the prices maybe president wasn't. I mean, he was sick anyway. I'm talking about Tamils, former president Tamils. I mean, he wasn't too satisfied with the deal. So, according to Martin Amidu, he was an attorney general. He said president told him to investigate Mahama, and he was one of the person I believe in Ghana. Martin Amidu, Kwaku Bako, Kwasi Pratt. Certain people I really believe them. When they say something, I take it on board because they are honest and their track record shows. So I believe Martin Amidu, and that if that was the case, I mean, he complicit himself. I'm talking about Mahama. So if someone steals in your administration, you can't say it. At the end of the day, you done by yourself. So I can say Mahama government was very, very bad. But, big but, under this administration, Akufo-Addo administration, freedom of speech is curtailed. Media is under attack. As soon as they mention something border with corruption, they don't like it. They go with them, they descend on them very heavily. Some died. They started from Anas. So one time Anas was a hero in Ghana. Kwaku Bakun was the MPP hero. Manasseh Azuri was a hero because of their works. And now do so many investigations under Mahama. I mean, from Kufuor, Rawlings, all over the years. Unfortunately, under this administration, he is evil. One of his colleagues died. They killed him because of his work. It wasn't really bothered with the NPP per se. But someone killed him. Kennedy Japan put his picture on his TV. And someone killed the gentleman just for doing his job. And I guess Anas has so many of them. His lawyer have so many threats. Manas Azuri one time was a hero. He find out Mahama, someone bought as in Burkina Bay, he bought Ford Expedition for Mahama, and I think he got some big contract from the administration. And Manas Azuri bought it to the fore. They hailed him. He was a hero. All of a sudden, under this administration, he's a villain. Because he found out the castle was used for, what's his name? What did they call it? The full soldiers or volunteers. They used a certain name, I forgot. Vigilantism, yes. And he found out Castle was using for that purpose. They didn't like it. Can Japan tear him apart? Stupid boy, he's the this, he's that. And all the Fasiko fans follow his suit. All his training, Abronye, where Wuntimi, they all come on board and attack the guy. And the guy has to be flown from Ghana to hide himself because he was threat and he nearly killed. They throw him away under this administration. Kwaku Akun was MPP hero all these years, and he's a hero indeed. I like him. He's a freedom fighter. It's not like the freedom fighter they're talking about. Ken Japon is a freedom fighter. My man fight under Lawrence. He was in prison for so many times. Him and Kwasi Pratt. Where was Ken Japon that time? Everybody run away. God saved his life. And Ghana is very lucky. Mahama is still is still living.
Interesting.
He is MPP hero. He was a hero. All of a sudden, under this administration, he became a bad man.
So are you suggesting
Kwaku
that
of all people,
this administration,
because of Japan? Yes.
so this administration of His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, you suggesting that they more oppressive, they in their approach?
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
So
Definitely. So basically, what I'm trying to say, apparently, Akufo-Addo was a freedom fighter, I can say, and he fight for press freedom. So might not be Akufo-Addo per se doesn't want the press to report or maybe to do their work, but his followers. And who is championing that? Kennedy Japan. That's what I was saying to you the other day. I don't like his politics.
the phone lines are open.
So unfortunately, unfortunately it's like we're going back to 1980s. Before Fourth Republic. You can't talk.
Interesting.
Now they say you can't talk, but you have to run away. Go on.
You're listening to Kibla FM. My name is Fuad Omar. An episode of Political Open Discussion. The phone lines are open. So if you're listening, you're welcome to call, bring your views. The topic today, who has or had the most corrupt regime? Is it the current government of His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo? Or was it that of former President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama? That's the topic. So, Amwakohene, I think he's been so far flip-flopping because he had said that under the leadership of former President Mahama, there were, he think Mahama had more corrupt system than the current president, His Excellency Akufo-Addo. But Akufo-Addo, he says, government very oppressive. Press freedom has gone down. Those were his comments. I did not say it. That's his view. So if you're listening and you disagree with him, you're welcome to call in and bring your take on this episode of Political Open Discussion on Kibla FM. We have people saying that what makes the current government more corrupt is that it is made up of mostly family members. That most of the key positions have been given or assigned to people, blood relatives of His Excellency the President. And according to one brother, that is one of the clearest signs of corruption, because things can be done to corrupt the system. Things that you and I might not even know about or would forever not know about because the folks handling those departments are relatives of His Excellency the President. So having the family members in the government because I saw a photograph. One gentleman forwarded an image to Kibla FM, and he had about 6 or 7, or even maybe more than that, individuals pictured. And according to that gentleman, they're all relatives, blood relatives of President Akufo-Addo. And to him, that is a sign of corrupt approach, because there will not be transparency, because they will protect Mr. President because he's related to them. Brother Marco, take a minute or two and respond to that, and we have a call on the line. Go ahead.
I don't believe that assertion. So government has family members around him. Basically, it's not against our
Is it true
constitution.
though? Do you have?
It's,
Is it true that he's given key positions
yes,
to
it's
members
true.
of his family? Oh, that's
It's true.
true.
It's true.
Okay.
It's true. Finance minister is a family member. Or if you go to housing, it's family member. It's a lot of them. It's a lot of them come from his family. But what I'm saying, I don't believe because of that you can say he's corrupt, because it's not against our constitution. Probably you have to be mindful of what people will say and the perception about. Someone might not be in government, okay? Someone might not be in government, but he's corrupt than the government officials.
That's true.
All right. So, and being a minister or working with a government doesn't mean you can make more money. Japan got bigger contracts than probably the ministers.
From whom? The
So,
government?
if they want to make money, not necessarily they have to be in the government to make money, but their competence. I think you have to measure their competence. The people he appointed, up in the competent level, like Oforiatta and all them guys, spot on. I mean, they have brilliant career and they are trustworthy. Akufo-Addo trust, and he helped them. They help Akufo-Addo to be in power, and they think they can help him to succeed. And sensitive positions probably give it to people he trusts the most. So me personally, I don't see anything wrong with that at all.
Okay.
So far as it's not breaching any constitution. And at the same time, people are very competent. I have no problem whatsoever. I think we should check. You should put them on check, either they deliver or not.
But
That's
should
most
they?
important.
Here's the question though. You're listening to Kibla FM. My name is Fuad Omar. Our website, www.kiblafm.com. Log on to that website and grab the phone numbers. Call in and bring your take. Say a word or two. So here's the point. If, one of these relatives happens to engage in a corrupt practice, do you believe the president would be, forthcoming in investigating and having that person prosecuted? Do you believe it? Because to many, that is one of the conflict of interest in appointing relatives. Go ahead.
No. It's not against the constitution. If it's conflict of interest, we were against the constitution. They will be categorically say or explicit said you can appoint your family member in the government. Okay, there's nothing like that.
No, constitutionally, it might be okay, but the conflict of interest comes in when your hands are tied. You have to deal with the family member facing the possibility of going to jail. That's the situation, because you cannot apply.
What?
Yes, sir.
Our part of the world. That's why probably you saying this, because if you are at fault or if something go wrong in your administration or your department or your ministry, and if you're a minister, it's not the president who investigates you. They go see CID and all that investigate you. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
I do, but
so
you
that's
and I,
why constitution.
You and I agree that the president, can use his power over this, bodies. We're talking Ghana in Africa. The president has got the power. It's not like here in the United States or in the United Kingdom where, they have certain level of independence to do things.
That's why I'm saying it can't be conflict of interest because it's not against any law. Conflict of
It
interest is
does
against law.
conflict of interest though
But in
does
our
not have
part
to
of
be
the
against
world,
the law though.
in our part of the world, probably they can probably put that in the constitution. Don't employ your brother or your family member or whatever because of the way we operate over there. Okay?
That's right, because the pressure can yes.
Like I said, me personally, what I said, I don't believe if you appoint your family member is wrong. So far as the guy,
No, not necessarily. That's
otherwise,
right.
otherwise we disfranchise them.
If they're
because
qualified,
you are good,
they can do the
you
job.
Are willing to.
You give them the chance.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Yes. You give them chance. I mean, they are Ghanaians as well. You know, it's not like when your brother or your relative become a president, so you can't get work to do. You know, that can't be right, is it? It can't be right at all. So far as I'm concerned, I will measure the person by his or her performance, not necessarily about because it's related to the president or the governor or the higher authority. So I don't think, me personally, I don't have a problem with that at all.
Awesome. Let's go to the phone line.
People will say.
Awesome. You're listening to Kibla FM. My name is Fuad Omar. Website www.kiblafm.com. Log on to that website, grab the phone numbers, call in, bring your take. If you have a word or two to say, call in and bring it. We want to know what you have running on your mind because it's an political open discussion. So you're welcome to call in. Call on the line, your name and where you calling from.
My name is Abdurrahman. I'm calling from South Africa.
From South Africa. Welcome to Open Discussion. Yes. Political open discussion on Kibla FM. Go ahead.
Okay, bro, Father, thank you so much, and your other guests and all listeners. First of all, I would like to find out what is the topic, because what I've seen here and what your other guest is talking about is totally different. He doesn't seem to understand what the topic is about. Because I kept hearing him, referring to Kennedy Japan. And the topic is between the NDC and the MPP. Which political party is more corrupt? So I don't see where Kennedy Japan's name keep coming up. So I don't know why he kept doing that.
He's listening to you.
I think he should stick to the topic.
He's going to strike back at you.
Yeah, he should stick to the topic. He should stick to the topic and discuss it, rather than mentioning Kennedy Japan's name. Now, Brafad, let me tackle the topic. There are so many things that he said that I totally disagree with him. I can see that he's trying to be impartial, but he's not doing that very well. First of all, Brafad, you see, the NDC lost the 2016 election at the backdrop of admissible gargantuan corruption. You know, we can enumerate them. The Bas Brandon, SADA, SUBA, JIDA, NCA, SNIT, you know, a whole lot of them. The Brazil World Cup scandal, Brazil aircraft deal, the Ford expedition that was given to the president by a Burkinabe contractor. You know, all those things constitute corruption. But what is ironic is that the loyalists of the NDC are doing every possible things to paint the NPP and the president, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, to paint them in the same brush. And you know, that will not wash. As we speak, Braford, there are about 21 former officials of the Mahama administration who have been arraigned before court. You know, some of the officials, for instance, there are some officials from Maslog, from NCA, from SNIT, and Ghana Standard Board, who are in court as we speak. And then not forgetting the Wyoming scandal. 51 million Ghana choppable cedis was doled out to Wyoming with the connivance of the then Attorney General, Betamol Idris, and the finance minister. The money was given to him in darkness. You know, and what did the judge say? The judge said it was planned I forgot the phrase that she used, that the judge used. He said that they plan. I can't really remember what he said, but what he said, that, let me say it in my own words. What the judge was saying is that these people, the NDC officials and Wyoming, connive to steal from the country and share the money, loot and share among themselves. The judge said it. This is not an MPP person who said it. It was the judge who made those statements. So you see, when it comes to corruption, the NPP is no match as far as NDC is concerned. Just after the NDC lost the 2016 election, what did we hear President Rawlings say? He said one of the ministers, the former deputy ministers, bought 2 mansions in Accra worth $3 million US, and he paid cash for them. Where did he get the money? And this is a deputy minister that we are talking about. So you see, when it comes to corruption, you cannot compare the two, NDC and MPP. You don't compare them. The NDC, when this Wyoming issue came up, it was the same Kennedy Japan that your other guest is busy accusing of being corrupt. It was him who raised this issue. He raised the alarm bells, and then the NDC were seriously defending Wyoming. What did we see? Wyoming has lost the case. They have given him all the opportunities to exploit all avenues. He even went to the African courts in Tanzania, Arusha. He lost. He went to the Supreme Court in Ghana. He lost. Now his properties are being attached. So when it comes to corruption, you cannot compare the two. The NDC are in a different class of their own when it comes to corruption. But when it comes to good governance, give it to the NPP. Your other guests talk about the NPP is a repressive regime. I totally disagree with him. I would like to hear from him. What constitutes repressive regime? I would like him to explain, to tell the world what's repressive regime. I will end here and listen to him.
Go ahead, brother
Amakuhene. I think you should stick to the...
My friend, you didn't like what I said because I'm not wearing political lens like you. That is your problem. When you come and talk, you think ever since MPP came, there's nothing wrong they done, right? That's what you try to imply here.
Don't
because you are one-sided. I'm not
mouth.
impartial. I said what I know, what I believe.
Put
it's my
words
opinion.
In my mouth.
I don't want to be impartial. I don't care about MPP. I don't care about NDC. You care about MPP. I don't care about them. So I say what I see. I'm a very objective. It's not like you thinking because you're wearing political lens. I think when you were speaking, you're talking about Mexican and Japan name. You mentioned Mexican and Japan name too. Why did you stick with the matter and go to Mexican and Japan name? Don't tell me how to talk. You come and make your point. I'm making my point. What I said, you really understand it, but you didn't like it. That's why you take it that way. Because I never say MPP is the word party, MPP is that. You didn't like it. I say what I know, what I heard, and what I believe. Okay? When I mentioned they are oppressive, I mentioned some journalist's name. And the same journalist, you were hailing them over the years. You couldn't answer. If I'm telling you, tell me, no, you are wrong. I mentioned Anas. I mentioned Kwekubako. I mentioned the Joy News guy. What's the name again? Naziro or something like that. I mentioned all these names to you. So what name do you want to mention? And when you were in opposition, they were your heroes. You like them so much. Why all of a sudden they become enemies? Why? You don't want us to talk about
him,
that.
Go ahead.
Okay.
At the end of the day, Ghanaians, me personally, I'm not.
Listen.
I'm not.
Listen, Amakuhine, listen, be patient. You must get some water, a glass of water. Brother, you see,
Stop advising me and make your point, my friend.
Mention somebody's name.
Do your thing.
Does not mean that what you are telling us is a fact. Manasi Azuri Awuni came up with a story saying that the castle was being turned into a gang of whatever. And then what did we hear from the National Media Commission? No, you did not follow the story. Don't say it was true. The National Media Commission came out.
Your general secretary said it was true, but I wasn't them. What are you talking about? I didn't follow the story.
One at a time. One at a time. Yes.
Listen, you did not follow the story. You can't gag me. Let me tell you something. I'm good at that. Brother, the Media Commission came out to condemn what Manasseh did. The story, there was no truth in the story. That is why I'm telling you that the gentleman did not follow the story. He did not even know what happened subsequently. Yes, he came up with the story, but what happened later, he doesn't know. Go and read, find out what the National Media Commission said about what Manasseh did. And even Joy FM had to reprimand him. That is why he left Joy FM. If you don't know, I'm telling you, go and find out. So the fact that you just mentioned somebody's name, that's not a fact.
Okay, what happened? What happened with the story? There wasn't training there.
Which story?
The story
there was nothing like that. There was nothing like that. That is why I said you did not follow the story.
I did, my friend. I listened to your general secretary. He confirmed yes.
Who is the general secretary?
That exercise is going on there.
No, who is
but
the
general secretary? But it wasn't MPP. But the guy was MPP guy. So what are you talking about?
Father, you see, this tells you that this gentleman doesn't know things that he said. Because you said our general secretary. Who is the general secretary? You don't know.
Is it the current general secretary?
I don't know John Boadu. I don't know John Boadu.
He's just mentioned.
Oh, goodness me.
You see, it took him some time to answer that question.
No, I believe he knows the name of the secretary.
John Boadu never mentioned anything to that effect. Never. Where did he say it? We can go and cross-check.
Go and cross-check OKFM. Kwame Nkrumah interview him.
And what did he say?
He said, yes, that activity was taking place over there. But it wasn't MPP, even though the guy was MPP guy.
That's not.
So what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
That is not
true.
You, what you are saying is not true.
Are you reading off any references that you can share, Mr. Makuhene? Are you reading off a reference?
I give you a reference. It happened on OKFM. This is the first time I saw someone deny that thing happening in the castle. This is the first time, to be honest with you.
So it's a
first time.
It's something that is well known.
Of course, everybody knows about it. It happens. They throw the guy away from Ghana.
Oh wow!
Threatening to kill him.
Who threatened to kill him?
So who do you think threatened to kill him? Who?
No, I'm asking you. You are the one alleging, so you should have the answer.
Okay, you know, Anna's colleague died, right? Right?
What?
Hey,
no, I'm listening. I'm listening.
The colleague
to you.
of Anas, right? Right, he died, right? Did he?
No, but I mean, there's no link.
Someone killed him, right? Someone killed that guy.
No, but you are saying that. Listen to him, brother. You see, my brother, you must be specific. You said they threatened to kill him. Which means that the threat came somewhere. Listen, be patient. You said, brother,
after he brought that when he broke that thing going on in Castle, yeah, like you defending, it wasn't him. He was reprimanded or all this kind of stuff, and he was attacked. He was threatened, and he ran away. I can't tell you it's MPP did that, but of course it was MPP. The story was against MPP.
You see,
when he did the investigation about Mahama. But listen to me, because I don't have evidence to say MPP. Yeah, when he did investigation against Mahama the president, Mahama the president, he was in Ghana, stayed there. He never ran away. He stayed in Ghana. But as soon as he done investigation against you, and you guys are defending back and forth because the vigilantism were going on in that castle, training people there. So, people attacking him.
You see,
and you know people attacking. You don't want to mention his name.
Brother from South Africa, is it true?
Attacking him. You attacking him.
Is it true, brother from South Africa? Is it true that back in the days when Nana Addo was in opposition, and he and his party, the NPP, they used to celebrate all these individuals that he had mentioned, and then all of a sudden they turn against them? Is it true?
Brafad, that's not true. You see, this gentleman is misrepresenting the facts. Nana Addo has never praised Manasseh Azuri Awuni anywhere. Anywhere. Look, you see, if you have the evidence, bring it. You are the one alleging. Don't just say things that you hear. Look, what you are doing. This is the bad debate that you are doing.
Oh boy, we lost that caller. Go ahead, brother Marco.
When Manasseh brought the expedition saga about Mahama, you carry on with that news. You carry on with that news broken. Mahama took it was a big thing for you guys, and you hailing him. He was a good guy. Now you say you didn't hail him. You was against him.
There's another call on the line.
Anas was your hero. When did you start attacking Anas? When MPP started attacking Anas? What about Kwaku Bakun? Have you ever attacked Kwaku Bakun before, apart from now?
Interesting.
Please be truthful. People listen to us. Even that's why I like Kwaku Bakun. If you got it wrong, he will say, I got it wrong. If it's true, it's true. If you have any defense, put the defense there. But don't deny the truth. It's not good.
Awesome. We're going back to the phone line. Hello, call on the line. Your name and where you calling from?
My name is Hussein Papi Abdelaziz. I'm calling from Düsseldorf, Germany.
From Germany. Welcome to Political Open Discussion on Kibla FM. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. I just want to find out, is it that guy is called the one who is speaking from England? Was he an NDC man?
Mr. Amwakuhene, he's asking you a question. Are you a member of the MPP? What's it again?
I'm from Ghana. I'm Ghanaian.
He's a Ghanaian. He's independent, he says. The gentleman from MPP is...
Mr. Fuad, I've seen it that there is no this thing. The one who is calling from South Africa, he was defending MPP.
Correct.
You understand me? And Mr. Amwakuhene wasn't an NDC man. So if somebody is calling from South Africa is defending MPP, we have to have someone online who will defend NDC too.
Are you a member of the NDC?
No, I'm not an NDC man. But I don't find it nice that somebody is coming to defend Mr. Amwakuhene wasn't an NDC man. He's a middleman. He was speaking of his mind.
That's why we call it political open discussion. You're welcome to call in. So if you belong to the NDC, the gentleman in South Africa called in. Okay, he called in and he spoke. So if an NDC person is also listening, you're welcome to call in and give your take. You get it?
Okay, I'm not an NDC man. I just want to understand if the guy Amwakuhene is an NDC man, so that I can hear both sides.
He's 50-50.
Now I have seen that.
He's half, I think. Boy, we lost our caller. Unfortunate. Yes, he's more.
I'm Ghanaian. I'm not even half. It doesn't matter. What I see is not right. So far as I'm concerned, I will say
You say
it doesn't matter from NDP
so
or
you
NDP.
right
I
in the
don't
middle.
care.
You right in the middle.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Well, I might not be in the middle. Sometimes I can be probably 70-30. Depends what is the situation.
70-30
you know
which
what I mean?
way? 70-30
So
which
I'm
way?
not anywhere.
Which way though?
Yeah.
70-30 which way?
I don't know. It depends on the situation.
So it
You know what
depends
I'm
on the policy.
So it doesn't matter. I mean, let's talk about corruption now. If you talk about corruption, I think NDC were more corrupt than NPP. But that doesn't mean NPP they are not corrupt anyway. They are. There's so many incidents happening. Mahama didn't mention none of them. There's Ziba and all that kind of stuff. A plus campaign for you. He was a big guy for you. Now he criticized big time. So far as he's concerned, the corruption going on in MPP is even more than NDC. And he was an MPP man. Even though I do disagree with him so many times, the way he insulted people and all that, I don't like it.
Caller from South Africa
He
is
was
back
your
on the
man,
line.
insulting. Go on.
Hey.
Brother, thank you so much. I need to retract a certain statement that I made.
Okay.
The last part, I don't even want to repeat it. I'm sorry.
What was that?
Yeah.
Okay, you retracted it.
I said something. Since nobody heard it, then that's it.
That's it.
I'm retracting that statement.
Okay.
If somebody heard it, I'm sorry. Yes. Yeah. Okay, Rafat. The fact is this. You see, we're talking about Manasseh's documentary.
Mm-hmm.
It is on record, and anybody who can go to MyJoy online, you will find this article there. I don't know if you can give me the opportunity to read it.
Go ahead,
quickly.
read it.
Okay, it says that government has, through the Information Ministry, petitioned the National Media Commission over the multimedia group and Manasseh Azuri's Castle Militia aired on Joy FM on March 7, 2019. The Information Ministry, when contacted, confirmed the petition dated 13/2019. Okay, let me just see here. It says, but the petition available to delegate government explained that a careful examination of the content of the impugned publication discloses that the first 6 minutes, 20 seconds of the documentary are about matters totally unconnected to the advertised subject matter of the documentary. It alleged that they largely showed images from the violence witnessed at the recent Ayawasu West by-election, whatever violence, which is the subject matter of an inquiry by a commission of inquiry set up pursuant to Article 27, whatever. According to government, in the petition, the attempt by Manasseh Azuri and multimedia to portray the company as engaged in the perpetration of acts seen in the first 6 minutes and 20 seconds of the documentary or similar thereto only exposes the mischief with which the documentary was laced and does little credit to the reputation of the media house. Brafat, after all this, because government complained, some of the images that were shown on the documentary, here I'm not reading, some of the images that was shown in the documentary were not even images from Ghana. They were just false images. So that is when Joy FM had to reprimand him. When he is saying that our General Secretary, MPP General Secretary, confirmed that there were militia groups in the castle, and I'm challenging him to provide evidence, be it documentary evidence, audio, video, whatever it may be. He should supply it to Kibla FM so that the whole world can hear it. Nothing. Our General Secretary never confirmed anything to that effect. I can confirm.
Okay.
He can provide the evidence. Yes.
My
Even
friend,
tomorrow you can send it to
accept
Kibla
what
FM.
you said. What you said,
okay,
it doesn't say that activity never take place in Castle. Some part of the documentary maybe they put in was wrong, and they retract just that one. It doesn't necessarily say the whole documentary was wrong. some of the images and picture, and like you're saying, were wrong in the documentary. That doesn't mean that activity doesn't happen in the castle. Okay, that's why they were explicit, saying what they went wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's the public knowledge. Nobody denying that activity went on in the castle. Nobody denies that. I'm surprised you're saying that, my friend. Me personally, listen to me. Me personally, I want Ghana to be very well. So that political thing going on, so people are so seriously following politics, even if it's not right, they still think it's right. I'm not for that. I'm not interested. MPP, MDC, I want Ghana to be well. Ghana to be developed. That's what I want. All the graduates you produce them in the country, they all come away from Ghana. You can see medical doctor living in the UK doing cleaning. That's my worries about Ghana. So that politics going on here and there, I'm not interested. So when I talk, don't ever think I'm NDC or I'm this or I'm trying to lie. I'm not interested. If you see my submission, what I base on, what I know, what I understand, what's my perspective. I'm not political anymore. I don't follow politics. I don't follow the politician.
But the brother from South Africa, take on the question.
Yes, brother.
A lot of people have a problem with the sitting president Nana Akufo-Addo giving key positions to members of his own family. They see that as a corrupt approach. What do you have to say about that?
Brother, you see, in our constitution, the president has been given the right, the power to appoint over 6,000 people. 6,000. You see, I saw the NDC held a press conference and indicated that they brought out about 50 names. And they said all those 50 names were family members of the president, which is not true. You see, Mr. Mwakuhini even also confirmed what the NDC were saying. But when you press him to bring out the names, he only mentioned one. And then the other one, he said this minister. He couldn't even mention the name.
What did I say?
Let me finish, Mr. Makwene.
What did I say to
you said you said there's nothing wrong with that. No, you said there's nothing wrong with that.
What did I say? What did I say? What did I say?
What names? He said he mentioned the name.
No, he mentioned.
Yeah, but he said I confirm what NDC said. I never said president appointed 50 people or people who were. So what do you mean by confirm what NDC said? I never said that. Even I was saying it doesn't really matter. Didn't I say that?
Is this. Listen,
didn't I say that?
Be patient. What I'm saying. Be patient.
I said my position was answered. I doesn't care. It doesn't matter. So far they are competent to do the work.
Mr. Makwene.
So what are you talking about, man? Go on.
We are in the same boat as far as that issue is concerned. But what I'm saying,
you say he presses me. I confirm what you said. Yeah?
What you said was, can you listen?
I confirm or I follow what NDC said. But when you praise me, I couldn't mention you.
When Brother Fuad asked you, when Brother Fuad asked you if that statement was true, you said yes, and then you were only able to mention two names. That is what I'm saying. But you also add.
So do you want to mention more? Do you want to mention more?
I'm with you.
So how many members of the family of the former president are in government right now?
Exactly. You see, the NDC brought out an exaggerated number. The only person who is a minister is the finance minister. Only the finance minister is a relative of the president.
But the government...
Atachia is a relative. Atachia is a relative.
Who was it? Mr. Amakuhene. Who's the other person?
Atachia is a relative from mother side.
Okay.
Atachia.
Listen. Yes, okay, yes.
No. I said Atachia is a relative.
No, listen.
I don't listen. Atachia is a relative.
There's nothing wrong with that. So what I'm saying,
but you said the only person is the only person can Foriata. That's what you said.
Can you listen?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
What I'm saying is this, Brafad. You see, the president has the right to appoint over 6,000 people in Ghana. So the NDC brought out 50 names, and they claim that those 50 names are all from the family of the president. Brafad, if you are given the opportunity to appoint 6,000 people, and out of the 6,000, 50 are your family members, what's wrong with that? And even though whatever they brought out is not true, it's a big lie. They just brought out those numbers. Even when they were pressed to confirm some of the names that they brought out, if they just see somebody has a surname Addo, then they will just conclude that the person is the president's family member. Let's put that aside. Are they competent to do the work? Atacha is very competent. The finance minister is very competent. These are competent people, men and women. Can you tell me who is more competent than the finance minister, Ken Ofori-Atta? If there's any other person in the NDC, there's no person in the NDC who is more competent than the finance minister. So if the president chooses a competent person, be it his family member, his son, his daughter, in the United States of America, don't we have Donald Trump appointing his daughter's fiancé as an official in his government? There's nothing wrong with that. Provided the person is competent, that is it. So those allegations does not hold water. They are trying their best to paint the president as a corrupt person, which will not hold. Because that president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, is very clean. He's not an angel. NPP is not made of angels. Definitely, there are people within the party who are corrupt. I cannot lie about that. But you see, the law says that the person is innocent until proven guilty. So if the person is not taken to any law court to be proven guilty, you cannot sit anywhere and say this person is corrupt. That will be unfair. The person might have done something that may have seemed to be corrupt to you. But when you go to the law court, you'll find that the person is not corrupt.
Here's a comment from Haj Mawia.
Let me chip in.
Go ahead, Amako.
My brother from South Africa, what's your name, please? So I can address you properly.
Rahman.
Brother Rahman.
Rahman, yes. Abdul Rahman. Okay, you know your problem, both NPP and NDC. You know your problem. Now I see the way you speaking, the same thing I said. When John Mahama was in power, what did you say? You said the same thing. It's exactly the same thing.
What
now
did you
are
say?
defending.
Can you repeat it?
That is your problem. You said Mahama is family and friends government. You said that in Ghana.
I never said anything like that.
Exactly the same. But if they told you mention 50 people, like people said, you can mention 50 people. Who is Mahama family were in the government? If I say mention maybe 10, you might probably not mention 10. But you used to call Mahama administration family and friends government or administration.
No, that's
and now true, you are defending the same thing. That's your problem, my friend.
No.
That time MDC were defending. They say the same. They say the same thing you are saying now. You are saying that aside.
Mr. Makwini, listen, I think you should try. You know, when you make such allegations, come with the evidence. You cannot just make allegations.
So you want to tell me you didn't hear that? You said Mahama is your family and friends. You never heard that before.
From the
you never said that.
Be
truthful, please. Be truthful. We all listen to radios and all that, but telling me bring what evidence you're talking about. So you never heard or you never said Mahama is your family and friends. It was that's the term family and friends.
Of supervising family and friends government. Who in the NPP made such statements? Who?
All of you. I heard from NPP. I never heard from NDC this word. It become Mahama family and friends administration. I wish someone owners can come to the lie and testify this.
There's a
I
comment
mean,
in.
you say the same thing.
There's
The
a comment.
same thing like you remember saying today.
Gentleman from Netherlands, Haj Mawia says in the comment, I think we have had some corruption under all of the presidents of the Fourth Republic, beginning from J.J. Rawlings till date. But from what we are hearing now in this current dispensation of Nana Addo, alias Papa Lumari, the corruption is gargantuan. That is a comment from a gentleman in the Netherlands. Enormous. That's his comment. That the size, the scope of corruption and the current regime or government of Nana Addo is huge. But he has also made a comment that under all the previous presidents, Ghana as a nation, we've experienced corruption. Brother Makohene, what do you have to say on that statement or comment from that listener?
That's true. That's why ANAS become popular. We have institutions who's supposed to fight the canker, the corruption. So many institutions in Ghana. CID is there. And now to create the new one, which is citizen vigilante. There's another new one he created for now, just purely for corruption. We have I forgot the name. So many of them, but the corruption is rampant in Ghana. Every department, it's not only government officials, the police, customs. Even now, what I heard the last time was that even the teachers in the schools, I couldn't believe it. When I was young, I never see that, headmasters. So wow. We have a nation. Oh, God has blessed us with the natural resources. Many of them. We have the potentials, human capacity, personnel to do the work, to Ghana become one of the best nations in the world. But look at us. Look at our roads, our hospitals. You're not guaranteed when you go to hospital. You're not guaranteed you'll be survived. The sad thing happening in Ghana now. All the most intelligent people who pursue business courses, medicine, and all that, as soon as they finish, they can't get a job. So they have to run to Europe or America. Unfortunately for them, because of the paperwork, they won't be able to do probably the professional work. They end up doing the aprapra. It's a shame because of our leaders. And you got people to defend them even when they are wrong. Sometimes feel so bad, feel sick. Corruption is a canker, it's a disease. Our people are too selfish. If you go to certain communities in Ghana and you see what even the drinking water is a problem. Food, schools, they go to schools under the trees. And one person, you can take billions, millions of dollars. God will punish certain people in Ghana, trust me.
Brother from South
Very
Africa.
terrible.
Yes. Rafad,
yes.
I find it very difficult to understand what your other guest is talking about. Because he said, if I listened to him carefully earlier on, he said the NDC was more corrupt than the current government. And now a texter has sent a message saying that the current government, is more corrupt than the previous one. And then he says he agrees with the person. So I don't understand where he stands. But
what did I say? I
agree
agree with the person. I never said I agree with the person. He said it. I never comment on it.
See,
what are you talking about?
He
said,
no, that was the question. It means that you didn't listen to the question. You just started answering it.
Well, the record is there.
Listen to the question.
Listeners, go back after this program and re-listen, and you can get the accuracy of the statement, so that the next time we're on the air, we would revisit this disagreement. Go ahead.
Yes, Brofad. Okay, the gentleman is saying that there was corruption in Ghana, but now it's rampant, isn't it? It's worse. Brofad, that is not true. You see, when you make such statements, you should be able to back those statements with evidence. He made those vague allegations without coming up with a scintilla of evidence to support it. For instance, in the previous administration, we had Wyoming, who embezzled 51 million Ghana cedis. At the time, it was almost one cedi, $1. And now the cedi has depreciated. His properties are only being attached now as we speak. That is one. We had the JIDA. When the government of Ghana was supposed to alleviate poverty in the northern part of Ghana, a group of people were given a huge sum of money to set up a guinea fowl farm. No guinea fowl was bought. When journalists went to investigate, there was no guinea fowls. When they were questioned,
who did the investigation?
Where the guinea fowls were.
Who does the investigation?
No, listen to me.
Who does the investigation? Listen. Who does it?
Amakuhini, when you were talking, I was very quiet.
Oh, I'm asking your question.
I was quiet because I was enjoying what you were saying. I was quiet
I said,
to make sure that discerning listeners will enjoy the program. That is why I was quiet. So I think you should do same.
Go ahead.
Just
go ahead.
Be quiet and listen.
He has something to say. Go ahead.
When journalists went to find out where the guinea fowls were, they flew to Burkina Faso. That was the answer. Over millions of dollars were given to people to plant trees. When the journalists went to investigate, there was no single tree planted. That is corruption. I want anybody to call in, including Amwakuhine, to tell me in this current government if something of that effect has ever happened. John Dramani Mahama, the president himself, came out praising a certain contractor from Burkina Faso. Can you imagine? We have a lot of contractors in Ghana, but the contract was awarded to a Burkinabe. And he was praising, full of praise of that particular contractor. The contractor built a road, a beautiful road, and Ghanaians contractors couldn't do that. Not knowing this particular contractor gave him a Ford Expedition when he was the vice president. That is corruption. That is a classical example of corruption. The Bas Brandon saga. You know, I cannot finish counting them. So those who are saying that the current government is more corrupt, can they come out with the specifics? And I want Amakuhini to do that.
There's a we have a text message from the northern part of Ghana from a gentleman. The gentleman's name is Brother Seba. Seba says corruption under Mahama government was highly defendable, unlike that of Nana Addo and Baumia's administration. There's so in other words, they had reasons or excuses. You can defend the corruptions under President Mahama in his vice. Then you could that of Nana Addo.
Brafad,
yes.
how do you defend the guinea fowl incident? How do you defend the trees that were supposed to be planted?
So
How
the
do you
guinea
defend that?
fowls.
How do you defend Wyoming?
Okay, a gentleman, sent a text
And
earlier. He said they bought the fowls, but they got, stolen, and you can't blame the government. You can't blame the government for that.
Anyway, Abdul Rahman, I want to chip in a bit.
Go ahead, brother Makuhini.
What we mentioned, I don't know if you I don't know when you started listening to the program. Whatever you mentioned here, I mentioned it already. Fuad is my witness. I mentioned.
So, but why do you still maintain that the current government is more corrupt than the previous one?
Who said that?
No, but the gentleman has sent a message and you said you agree with him. Or you didn't hear the question.
I make my point. I make my view over there. So what are you talking about? Did you start listening to the when did you start listening to the program?
So what did you agree with? What did you agree with? Because you said I agree with him.
When I don't agree with anyone. I make my point.
You said I agreed with
It
him.
could be. It could be that. It could be that brother Makuhini agreed partly, not all of it.
Yeah, then he should have indicated that he partly agreed with what the gentleman sent.
Who?
Yes, that's what I was expecting him to say. But if you say I agree with him, it means you agree with everything that he said.
There's corruption. So do you want to tell me there's no corruption there's no corruption at all whatsoever in this administration? That's what you want to tell me?
Okay. Amakwine, can I ask you a question?
There's a gentleman. There's a gentleman.
Hear me.
There's a gentleman
and
that
I'm repeating this. I've said it and I'm repeating it. I have never said there's no corruption in this current government. But what I'm saying, you see,
so
I
deliberately
mentioned all the corrupt incidences in the previous government. And I'm saying, I challenge anybody to come out and count them, the corrupt activities that is happening now. Mention them now. That's what I'm expecting.
Listen, we are all, listen to me. We are all in the same page. I said, Mahama administration were more corrupt than this administration. Now, I'm so happy you mentioned certain things in Northern region. You know who do that investigation? Manasseh Azuri. That's why I was saying he was hailing them.
I'm not
and now we mentioned
him.
You said you
discredit Manasseh.
That's what you said a while ago. When he did this investigation,
you can check the record.
That's what I was talking about. You said, no. Nobody hails him. You said that. You hailed the guy. And he deserved to be hailed
you
anyway.
Said...
By the time, when he exposed that thing in the castle, he didn't like it. Even when he did all this in the NDC time, he never thrown away.
So the contract, let's go back to the contract. The Wyoming, etc., etc. What is Akufo-Addo's version of the Wyoming scandal? His own. Does Akufo-Addo has his own version?
Because I don't know of any such thing happening in this current government.
But here's what I've heard, though. People have said that the YMA scandal is not necessarily an NDC scandal because you have folks who belong to both parties implicated in the scandal. So you cannot say
big lie, bro.
It's not true.
Because I will agree with my friend in South Africa, Rahman. NDC administration pay him the money, and I think it was a plan work to loot Ghana. Wyoming, Afsofoton, and all the rest. It was a colluding, and they tried to, bankrupt Ghana. So there was so many of them within a short period of time. There was about 10 or 20 judgment debt. Big money in euros, in dollars. So that's what I'm saying. Atamez was very weak. He might not be corrupt, Atamez per se, but he was really weak because he was sick. So I believed Mahama and Atamez's administration, they were really corrupt than MP. Akufo-Addo is much stronger. Abuachie Jaku, he sacked him.
The former late president.
Good.
Because
I was still coming to that.
Yeah.
The late President Mills, he said, was also corrupt.
No, okay, bro. Fine.
I
You
don't
see, with
think
the late
I
President
don't think the
Mills,
late president was corrupt, so far as I'm concerned. But I think he was weak. You know what I'm saying? Because one time he stopped them, he told them, "Don't pay the money," and eventually they paid the money.
Interesting. We have a brother coming in. We have a brother coming in to join this program. So we can, because he belongs to the MPP part of the line. So we want to get him on so we can hear what he has to say. You're listening to Kibla FM. My name is Fuad Omar. Log on to website www.kiblafm.com and grab the phone numbers and be a part of this presentation. So we're still trying to get the brother on. His name is Siba, so he can be a part of this presentation on Kibla FM. You know, it's an open discussion. Therefore, if you're listening and you have a take, you think or maybe you've heard something wrong coming out of the mouth of the brother from South Africa or brother Makuhene, you're welcome to push them to the wall. Call in and make them push them, because that's what we need. By doing so, the truth will come out, because evidence. Why you me? Yes, brother from South Africa. Okay, before you go on, before the brother in South Africa goes on, gentleman from Ghana, for an NDC gentleman, brother Siba, we say welcome to Kibla FM Political Open Discussion.
Well, Alex, Salaam alaikum, brother Fuad.
Welcome to Kibla FM.
I want to say good evening to you and your listeners as well.
Good evening.
I have a very interesting questions or answers to provide to Brother Rahman from South Africa.
Okay.
With regard to corruption, which of course he might think Brother Anwar is not previous to certain issues happening in this current administration.
Mm-hmm.
I heard him online saying he is urging everyone to come out online to prove or to cite an examples of corruption under this administration. That is Nada and Baulaye's administration, excuse me to say so. And as just like he have said that of the Jida, the Sada, the Akonfem, Ako, Burkina and others. It looks like Brother Rahman doesn't go through our current happenings in Ghana. Not quite long ago, I just want to refer him to an example of a big scandal, which even the illiterate in our country are aware of. This government is corrupt. Not quite long, he head of the Maritime Director, boss, who is currently the Ghana Revenue Authority boss. I just want to set a continuous example of scandals of corruption that happens. Did he head of the amount he has used in renovating a 2-bedroom apartment to 4-bedroom apartment? Did he also head the amount and the number of air conditions that he have procured for those? I didn't know whether his fish that he has to turn the house into an cold or an ice apartment for him to be comfortable. After this same scandal, this man was moved from that place to Ghana Revenue Authority. He recently defrauded the area and set up the whole structure on fire just last week.
Interesting.
The amount of money, the billions of CDs he is saying has got bent in the structure. I'm yet to find the answer from any Ghana, even Brother Rahman. Did he pay those monies within a day? Did he collected those money or gathered or generated those funds a day before the day the department got fired? If yes, then that man has to be jailed or has to be arrested because he has a lot to explain to Ghana, to Ghanaians. Let's put that one aside. Has he head of the procurement department? Has he watched the Manasi Awuni Azure's the journalists who cover a story with regard to cash for projects under this administration. If he's telling me there were allegations, then why the dismissals? Why the suspensions? And why the detainees of some of the appointees? Let's put that one aside. I see head of the Osafa Mafu's $1 million scandal. Let me put that of the Osafa Mafu's aside. And come on, I can count many and many and many and many. Let me touch the second issues with regard to the family and friends. My brother Amwa was trying to throw more light into the ears and eyes of your listeners, which Mr. Rahman, my brother from the South Africa, has been trying to just grieve into. Mr. Rahman, I believe in you are an academic, you learn, you read a lot, you are good, you can twist, you are very vocal, but my brother, this time around, you are failing because you are trying to defend undefendable. And for sure, these things I've mentioned, if they are lies, you can defend. I can't ask Brother Amor to be silent, then we continue the program from here together with you, because I can count as many as 100 and something scandals under this administration.
Go ahead, brother.
Let's
from
go
South
back
Africa.
out of appointees. Let's get back to the appointees of the current governor. That's Nana Addo, Akufu Addo, and Baolaya. Due to the lies of his vice president, we even now call him Baolaya in Ghana. When you say Baumia, nobody knows unless you say Baolaya. Due to their lies and then the kind of, how do I say, lies they have created to find their way into power, which of course today is hunting them. And for sure, 2020, they are going to be exit out of power because Mahama is coming back live and colored to continue the agenda. If you can remember, I read something, I wrote earlier that corruptions under Mahama administration can be defended. They are defendable, unlike this administration. During Mahama administration, we go in for loans. Even if the loan is supposed to be 3-bedroom apartment, you come and meet a 1-bedroom apartment as an evidence of the project was taken, the loan was taken, and then this was what has been executed. For the past 3 to 4 years today, we are in the last round, almost the last round of this administration. This administration cannot count even a single bathroom that it went in for loan to build, and that is even at footings, or I don't even know how to build it. They go in for money, they spend the money with family and friends. They spend the money with their girlfriends. They go to different. Look at the case of Bisu. Look at the case of Bisu, Charles Bisu. Look at the scandal. And the annoying thing about this administration is it all fell onto the deaf ears of the government, which they so-called say is a listening government. Look at the meritant boss after that scandal. Instead of you to detain him, question him, allow him retrieve all those funds he has misconduct, you rather change a position for him. Then he went and defrauded that place and ablaze the entire structure on fire just last week. Again, look at Charles Bisu, someone you have suspended over a scandal. Instead of you to force him, retrieve those money, if possible, jail him to scare others, you even have the guts to be sending him on international issues to represent Ghana, which of course you last saw the video when a very patriot, a very good citizen of Ghana was asking, was he there on his own or he's there with Ghana's fund? So, Mr. Rahman, it's like it has been a while you hear news from home. Get back and come back to your senses. If for sure you criticize Mahama over corruption and he was kicked out, then bring him back because this is the worst. Mahama was corrupt by building hospitals, building school structures, a lot, expand education, the intake in colleges of education and NTC. Institution that used to take 250 students was able to cater and admit not less than 1,000 something. All in the name of he wants to provide the better Ghana agenda. But currently, no posting. Look, teachers are on strike as I'm talking. Teachers are on strike for the past, is it 2 days? Since Monday, Tuesday, today, they are on strike. If all is going well, if the social welfare of workers in Ghana, wait, by next week, nurses are going again. In 2-3 days here, I'm telling you, brother Ford, unposted nurses are also, because this was the reason why we voted Mahama out. So, brother Rahman, all is not well at home. I know South Africa atmosphere might be good for you, but it's not good for us in Ghana.
Brother
We really need
Abdurrahman.
Mahama back.
Brother
And I'm
Abdurrahman.
online waiting on your response. If possible, we can continue.
Yes.
I'm ready for it. Thank you, brother Fuad.
Thank you, Brother Siba from Ghana. Wonderful contribution. You know, you're listening to Kibla FM, an episode of Political Open Discussion. You're welcome to call in and be a part of it. Log on to our website, www.kiblafm.com. Grab the phone numbers and be a part of it. Go ahead, brother from South Africa.
Brother, I welcome the gentleman on board. Yeah, this is Kibla FM. You know, he hasn't said anything. He has not said anything. You know, Brother, you see, the NDC that I know, insults is their stock in trade. Did you hear how he called the vice president?
He said,
I don't even want to repeat.
He said he lies. That's what he said. Because he said he lies a lot.
Yes, exactly. He called him a certain name, and I don't even want to repeat that. Yeah. That is their stock in trade. And that is the reason why Mahama suffered the humiliating defeat in the last elections. What is he talking about? After Brazil World Cup, the sports minister and his people, after they went and squandered our monies in Brazil, what did we see? He was removed from the sports ministry to the presidency. John Mahama removed a lot of ministers who were corrupt to his office. President Akufo-Addo, the current president, what he does is, if you leveled an allegation against someone and he sees that this person, the allegation has some value in it, what he does is to tell the person to step aside. We saw the energy minister, somebody who was his campaign manager during the campaign season. He told him to stand aside just because he misinformed him. Not that he was corrupt, he misinformed him. And you see, the gentleman came with a whole lot of stories. And without being specific, we want specifics. You see, I'm happy that you are the one who wrote that message saying that corruption under John Mahama was defensible. You know, and I'm also happy that you admitted that Mahama was corrupt. I don't expect you to say that he was more corrupt, but definitely he was corrupt. Everybody knows Mahama was corrupt. You said those instances of corruption are defensible, and I expect you to defend those. Everything that you came and mentioned are just mere allegations perpetrated by NDC. So I'm not surprised if an NDC person comes and said that somebody did 1, 2, 3. Did you hear what Jamal, what's the name? Baba Jamal. Did you hear what Baba Jamal said? Brafad, this was their campaign manager. You know what he said? He gathered them because they are trained to lie. These guys are trained to lie. He told them, and it's an audio, and I can send it to you. And then he told them that if we give you a sheep, you must say we give you a cow. If something is black, say it's white. And this is a campaign manager telling their foot soldiers, training them how to lie. You refer to nurses. These are people who were sitting at home for so many years. The president came and he promised them that he will make sure that they will be posted. And indeed, when he came, he posted a whole lot of them. A whole lot of nurses were posted. Mahama withdrew their allowance. He withdrew their allowance. When this president came, he installed it. They've been getting allowances. The nurses are getting allowances. There is a country in the Caribbean. The president went there, negotiated with the government, and currently, as we speak, nurses are being interviewed so that they will be exported to that country. I forgot the name of that particular, but it's in the Caribbean.
Cuba?
So, no, not Cuba, not Cuba. There's not Bahamas.
Hello, Brother Rahman.
I will remember the name.
Hello, Brother Rahman.
Yes, go ahead.
I am sorry to interject. I have been jotting most of places where I really need to counter, hoping that when you are done with your submission, but let me just come in with regard to the alawa and that of the posting of the nursing, as well as exportation of the service of nurses elsewhere. Let me quickly get back to you, because your nation tells me you are a purely the Gumba man, just like myself. In our local dialect, I translate quotes from the Gwani. It is hardly and very bad to find out that when a child's mother is in the kitchen cooking, then the child going to bed hunger. This was what Mahama forsake. Why should we produce nurses and export them out or take them out elsewhere when their service is much and duly needed within our own country? Instead of we thinking of how to utilize these nurses, how to employ these nurses, how to put them to places within our country where their service is needed. And it's very pathetic to hear you even talking of Nakufado, His Excellency, the current president, restoring alawa. What do you mean by alawa? Brother Rahman, your donations as well as submissions tells me you will have a little knowledge, or you are an educationalist, because by all means I doubt you was a former teacher or once a teacher or something, because your submission says so.
He was a headmaster.
In the days you was in college, Brother Rahman, how was alawa given to you? Who even introduced alawa in our educational system? Where did alawa begins, and which part of the country did alawa begins? Time might not allow us to go into two. That should be an opportunity. I'll beg Brother Fuad to give us, or give you and I, that opportunity to talk on. But let me take the surface one, because I'm counter. It's not my full time. Brother Rahman, the alawa the student of colleges, not nurses nor teachers, used to take is like this. It goes this way. Before the arrival of NDC government, which made the College of Education and other colleges to be so attractive, to even attract more attention and make it so, how do I say, there's to add more competition onto it. One, it was during Professor Mills that the alawa of teacher training college, the salary of teachers and nurses were all uplifted. The alawa we used to give trainees before we retrieve it was like this. We give each students 450 Ghana cedis before the time we retrieve it. Then 390 goes to their nets, whilst the remaining 70 or 60 Ghana cedis goes for their utilities. And the alawa they used to take was like this. When a student is on vacation, he takes alawa. When a student is on off-campus program, he is on alawa. When a student is graduate awaiting, sitting at home awaiting for posting, that student is on alawa. When the student is posted or trainee is posted, awaiting for controller and accountant general to identify, process his or her document before it takes it fully salary, that trainee will be on alawa, and there will be arrears right away from the day of his appointment letter or of the validity of his appointment. What are you telling me alawa these days? go back and ask the trainees how much are they giving and how is it. They are given only for only within the period they live in school. If a semester have 4 months, then they are entitled for only the 4 months they are in school. When a student today or a trainee today is on vacation, within the vacation period, that trainee has no alawa. When a student graduates are waiting for posting, that trainee has to go and sell. You read a story about a graduate nurse who was doing kaya or who is at Accra station or Ketia, one of the stations doing kaya. You read that story. Purpose, if that student should be on alawa, as previously when we used to provide, she could have voluntarily be on service awaiting for her posting. But these days, they don't do it because even when you go, you are wasting your time. You are going to starve yourself the more. Moreover, Brother Fuad, when they are posted, are waiting for salary, even if it is 2 years before they are able to be identified or captured by Controller and Accountant General, they have to be with hunger, which of course is hindering our health sector. These people are not with the necessary or the requisite social, how do I say, their social amenity is not provided. They can never stay at post. You will hear, you see a nurse or a teacher will leave you with her. Are you not posted? Why are you not here? Because I don't have money and my salary is not coming. So even if I go, I'm suffering, forgetting that his service is needed. There are people are waiting on his service, which of course is hindering onto our progression as a nation. So please, it's very pathetic to hear an MPP person sounding the restoring of Alawa. The descending Ghanaians, just like my brother Rahman, who used to know how Alawa used to be in those days. That Alawa was, will tell you more. And during the days of the Alawa, Brother Fuad, ask him, what was the intake of the colleges, at the colleges of education and the NTC? You go to a fully nursing training college, the intake of students, a batch or teacher training college is 250. When there is much and great deficit of teachers and nurses into our country, we need more. When Mahama took away the alawa, what was the intake? The purpose was we are going to increase the intake to produce more service personnel to go in and produce. I'm going to build more chief compounds. I'm going to build more clinics. I'm going to build more district hospitals. Many, you can't count them. Most of them today have been abandoned by the current administration. Brother Fuad, the anonymous thing about this administration is they always tell you one district, one factory.
Yeah.
Compare the 1 million per project of this factory and with the 1 million community day-based senior high of John Dramani Mahama, you can see the difference. I can right away forward the pictures of both projects to you. Even I had a short video I did about where the project was cast. In the Ashanti region, the Ejura Dumasi municipality, the sort of wretched thing they did and commission.
Interesting.
1 million. Then you compare that project, $2 million. Then you compare with the 1 million community-based senior high of Mahama administration, which of course Brother Rahman is there making blatant noise purposely because he can talk, speak good English, convince his mouth is so sweet.
Let's go to Brother Amwakuhene because he's in the middle, and let's hear what he has to say. Brother Amwakuhene, very engaging episode of political open discussion on Kibla FM. Brother Amwakuhene, go ahead.
I'm here. Thank you very much, my brother from Ghana. Maybe Mr. Rahman want such a person to debate with. Me personally, I'm not on any other side. So I don't sound so political. And he didn't even like it. But like I said, all administration, at least, my brother from Ghana admit, even though Mahama was corrupt, but something he can see. Even instead of him to build maybe 3 bedrooms, he'll build maybe 1 bedroom. Something.
Listen.
So it's an admission that something may not be right.
Yeah,
you know what I
because
mean?
you say you're
But-
building
but
three
my brother
bedrooms
from,
and you go building 1 and 2
South
bedrooms.
Africa, he doesn't admit anything at all. That's the problem we have in Ghana.
So the
So
brother
saying-
from
I
South
keep
Africa
saying this.
always,
Go on.
he does not want to admit anything.
That's the point. I keep saying, even your hero done something wrong, you say it. You say it. It's not your job to defend. They got the administration got spokesperson. They got mouthpiece. So ordinary citizen like me and other people, you have to look at it properly. You don't have to follow them because they are working. It's their job. They are career politicians. So as soon as he got that support from his camp, they will continue doing the same. So as in the sitting room, we need to be careful, and in the way we are so political, we follow them. That it's like a religion. So I'm saying, and you know well, if on the other side doing the same thing, you say it's wrong, but you say it's right because you don't belong to the other side. That is killing Ghana. So, but the Rahman, maybe you meet your meter. I mean, for some time now, I don't really listen to Ghana program like I used to. So I'm not really abreast with so many information. So when Mahama comes from Ghana, he give you all the what you needed to hear. You know what I'm saying? You asking me some evidence. We got enough evidence now.
Go ahead.
But having said that,
Go ahead, brother.
having said that, go on.
And gradually, my meter will be cut to size.
Oh, wow.
Gradually. Robert,
That's why you just like it, you know?
Yes, go ahead.
I'm not going to talk much because the brother said I'm talking too much. So I'm just going to be, he mentioned something. He mentioned something about the Alawa, which he enjoyed so much. But then John Mahama decided to withdraw it. You see, when His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo came, because he knew very well that the Alawa had been very helpful in the past, so he decided to restore it. So I don't see why he should have a problem with it because he enjoyed it. Rafard, look, my question is, he's the one who told us earlier on that there are still nurses who are sitting at home doing nothing, who have not been posted. And yet he has a problem with government exporting nurses to another country. So you see, there's a contradiction there. This tells you that a typical NDC person would have a problem with whatever the current government does. That is why I call them nation wreckers.
No.
There's
Brother
a saying
Rahman,
that
I've made it very
how
clear.
nicely
You,
the
Brother
chicken
Rahman,
dances.
excuse
Please, can you listen to me, please, my brother? You know, there is a saying, Brafad, that irrespective how nicely the chicken dances, the hawk doesn't seem satisfied. He seemed to be scared of the topic that is under discussion. We're talking about corruption here. We're not talking about achievements. On achievements, NPP and NDC are not comparable. You cannot compare the two. Brother, you can't. Maybe we should choose another day and address that topic. But currently, the topic on the table is corruption. And I am maintaining that the NDC is far more corrupt than any other political party in Ghana. I'm not talking about government. Any other political party, including Hassan Ayarga's party. The NDC is more corrupt than any other political party. I thought my brother would have tried to defend the corrupt activities that went on under John Mahama. Because he said he's able to defend them. So I was expecting that we will mention them one by one so that he can defend them. Can you, I'm just asking one question. I don't want to talk much because he accused me of talking too much. Can you defend the Guinea fouls? What happened? Please, I want you to explain to us.
They got
when
stolen.
you finish that,
They got stolen.
please try to defend Wyoming. I'm listening. And then
Brother Rahman,
yes,
you've made an inquiry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I can hardly hear him.
Yes, go ahead, Brother Siba. Go ahead and speak. Yes. Yeah, I think he has an issue with the connection. You're listening to Kibla FM. My name is Fuad Omar.
I'm listening.
Go ahead.
Tell him to get back.
Go ahead, Brother Siba.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll get back to you. I'm on you. I'm listening. Go ahead.
No. I've asked you a question, and I'm saying that try
Defend
to defend
Wyoming
the Guinea fowl incidents, confirmed incidents that happen. How do you defend that? Because you said they're easily defensible.
Hello, Brother Rahman. I'm to answer your question.
Okay, my brother, I'm listening.
Hello, Brother Rahman. Are you with me?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, I'm listening
You've
to
made
you.
mention of, can I defend the Guinea fowl? Scandal.
Yes.
Scandal.
Yes.
Good. The Guinea fowl project was a contract awarded to Asibi and Co. Which, of course, that contract was brother. What I hear echo at the back. Let me recome in place.
You're good. Keep going.
The network is not.
Keep going.
Let
Keep
me
going.
I'll answer him. I am ready to defend.
Okay.
So, recall me back.
I can hear you loud and clear.
The brother says he has a problem. I don't know. Brother Mwako, do you hear?
To get some info.
Yes, go ahead, Brother Mwako.
Okay, now you see the politicians, the way they debate, MPP and DC, it's not that's how they do their things. In fact, Mahama done well. He was embarrassed about the Guinea fowl. I think the Gida. And one of his minister or Azipi and all that, they were apprehended, and I think now they are behind the bars. So NDC done something about it, even though it wasn't right. Our money was squandered and all that, which is true. So one thing I want to tell the politicians, both MPP and NDC, when MPP were in opposition, there is so many allegations who was championed by Kennedy Japan. This guy do this guy did that. Now, you are in the government for the last 3 years. And people, you accuse them, they are this, they are that, they loot, they stolen. They are still at large, walking around. So I want to ask, so that allegation you made on the TVs, on the radios, were they true? If it's true, why are they walking around? Or you exaggerated?
Yes, Brother Amakuhinin, let Brother Amakuhinin land. Then we would go back to the rest of the panelists and the callers. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So
yes, Brother Siva. Let's hear Brother Amakuhinin. Let him land, and we're gonna come back to you.
Foul are confirmed to Burkina.
Yes. Let's give him a minute and let him land, and then you take on that question. Go ahead, Brother Amakuhinin.
Thank you. Thank you, brother.
I'm saying the same thing to NDC, both parties. I know you do your politics, but you have to be honest to us. You'll be saying so sort of things, accusation upon accusation, allegation upon allegation. So I'm expecting you, NDC or MPP, when you come to power, what you said, you delivered. Or if you think what you said was not true, at least you should tell us, I thought this was the case, but it's not the case. Because if I heard for when Mahama was in power, so many allegations about corruption, like my friend was mentioning, and the same thing, my mind was mentioning this. But when they come to power, you see, no, but everybody was working around. I remember when Kufuor was in power, the same thing happened. And when he gone away, none of the ministers went to bar. None of them was apprehended. Even when they were apprehended, they were acquitted. So, have to be truthful to us, the politicians.
Interesting. Go ahead, Brother Siba.
Yeah, Brother Fuad.
Yes, sir.
I am back. I want to answer the concern to Burkina. The case or the incidents of our concern to Burkina attest to the fact that, and to the whole Ghanaian, that NDC is a party that fights against corruption and it doesn't condone corruption. Ask me why.
Why?
This concern project was a poverty alleviation project which was funded and sponsored by JIDA under the Youth and Employment Agency to equip our youth with the skills so that they can exercise it and they would, how do I say, to be, come on, complete it. You know what I want to say, Brother Fuad? What I mean is that this was to just equip the youth with the skills. And then they set up capital so that they can be on their own, all in the name or purposefully for poverty reduction.
Okay.
Which, of course, did it. It was awarded to Asibi and Co. and Sada was also in to facilitate it. We realized after Manasi, that same Manasi Awuni Azure conducted a research underground, a journalist, doing better in Ghana, which of course today he has to be hidden under this government. When in our previous government, when he does, we made follow-up. When we make follow-up, we prosecute, we detain, we inquire, we make people retrieve. But under this government, when these same journalists come out with issues, he has to run for his life. He has to leave he has to run away because he feels unsafe. He feels unsafe. When Manasseh Auna Azure came out with the story, we realized there is little truth in the story. We set up a committee by the then Mahama administration. The committee realizes for sure there was a sign of corruption as Abu Gapele, along all those people who, Gilbert Ida, along all those people were detained. The faulted ones, Philip and Co. was sentenced. Asibi and Co. were sentenced. So many of them were sentenced. Most of them are in prison today. This tells you that the NDC government, the Mahama administration, for sure, doesn't condone what? Corruption. We make the inquiry after we took the case on the mantle. Afterward, we prosecuted the people who were defaulters into it. But today, that same Manasseh Auna Azure has been bringing out revelation over corruption. This Ajay scandal was published by Manasseh Auna Azure. Afterward, the Maritime director, it was the same Manasseh. Even Osafoma for $1 million scandal was this same. And today, this Manasseh have to run away for his life. He was forcefully advised to resign, purposely because his life is at stake. Because this government encourages corruption. When you are corrupted from one sector and there is an allegation being raised, the best thing to do, instead of him detaining you, forcing you to retrieve the money like Mahama did to Wyoming, it was our administration, during our administration, that we took Wyoming to court. Everything, every bit, the payment he's making, the whatever, it was the NDC administration that took him.
Yes, go ahead.
The last time I saw MPP fighting against corruption was in the case of Alhaji Issa, may his soul rest in peace, the former GFA boss. Alhaji Issa, was and you and I know the political background of Alhaji Issa. Alhaji Issa was only invited to come and assist the then administration because he wasn't an MPP. So because he was a foreigner or an outsider, they set him up and then use him as an scapegoat for others to follow, or for others to be scared, for them to make name, for the world to say, oh, they are doing what, they did what. Look at the case and incidents of Muntaka Mubarak. See how vibrant he is. Look, a figure, majority even the then in parliament, leader in parliament, look at what happened. We detain him. We set committee. They search him. We suspend him. We sacked him. We silent him. At the time, this nation needed his service most because we felt he was corrupt. Can he cite an example of that? When we raised the issue of that maritime boss, what happened? Quickly, a maritime boss who sleeps with a bedroom of 13 air conditioned purposely because he had the Ghana money, he's embezzling it anyhow. The government.
Yes, go ahead.
Akufa.
Boy.
Quickly.
Brother, Siba has a break in the network. You're listening to Kibla FM. My name is Fuad Omar. Brother from South Africa, go ahead.
Brother, you see, when NDC person lies, if you are an intelligent person, you are able to point out the lies immediately because they are not very good at it. They like to lie, but they are not good at it. Can you hear what he said? A bedroom with 15 air conditions. How is that possible? Brother, is that possible? A bedroom with 15 air conditions.
Maybe a king, super, a big bedroom,
You see, Brafad, I'm actually very happy that he brought up the issue of Muntaka Mubarak. Do you know what he did? Muntaka Mubarak embezzled monies that were supposed to be paid the Black Star players.
Do you have evidence on that?
Took his girlfriend.
Do you have evidence?
No, that's what happened. That's what he's referring to. He bought Chinchanga and Pampas. That is why they call him Muntaka Pampas. I'm telling you.
Who concluded that it's a fact? Who concluded?
And he said, no, it's a fact.
Who
I will send you the article to read.
Fact
after this program.
Says which body?
Hello?
Yes, sir. You said it's a fact. And I'm asking you, says which body? Who said it's a fact?
No, Bradford, the journalists raised the alarm. I cannot remember which journalist, but when the alarm was raised, what happened was that the government then, that was the Atamil's government, realized that what the journalist was talking about was true. Then what they did was to remove him from the sports ministry, but he was still a minority, it was still deputy majority leader or something like that.
But the government did not tell you that was the reason why they switched him around.
No.
They did not tell you that. So when you say
public knowledge,
I know, but
that is why I'm telling you,
when you say something is a fact. When you say something is a fact. When you say something is a fact.
I cannot provide it. Okay, I'm listening.
When you say something is a fact, brother from South Africa, you mean there's no doubt on the accuracy or the authenticity of the whole thing. But we have a situation whereby the gentleman did not go to court. He didn't go to a trial. The government did not made any paperwork available for you to read to see as to why they took him out. So you're speculating on why he was taken out. That's what you're doing. Yes, sir.
Okay, listen. The journalists did the investigation and raised the alarm. And then the government's attention was brought to it. And what they did was to remove him from the sports ministry.
Okay.
Because of what he did. It's a fact. It's not something that is hidden.
The good part about this program?
Public knowledge.
The good part about this program is that it's an open political discussion whereby the views of the callers and all the members of the panelists are theirs. Not necessarily do we share the same views. So they're going to own it up. That's their own views and opinions, and they're entitled. Go ahead.
Good. Brafad, for instance, the case of Wyoming. It's a public knowledge. Anybody could go online and read whatever that happened. So in the case of Muntaka Mubarak, it's the same thing that happened. It's a public knowledge. It's not something that is hidden. And that is why he has never been a minister since then. So what I'm surprised about, the NDC has no moral right to even talk about corruption. The person, Jerry John Rawlings, if we have to go down memory lane, prior to the formation of the NDC in 1992, the founder of the NDC, J.J. Rawlings, and his coup-making friends, when they formed the NDC, the current NDC, they told us that they are forming the party on the principle of probity and accountability. That is their slogan. And yet, what are we seeing? Successive governments of the NDC are involved. In fact, they stink with corruption. All of them, from Jerry John Rawlings to John Mahama, including Atta Mills. Let me give you an example. When Wyoming's issue was raised, Brafad, I will provide evidence after this program. What did Professor Mills said? He told the whole country that he is not interested in whoever received the money. That is Wyoming. He's not interested in Wyoming. He's not interested in retrieving the money. He's interested in those who cause the judgment debt. So his target was on the previous government. And when Osafo Mafu and Kwame Pienim and the rest were contacted, they told them clearly, we did not have a contract with this gentleman. And this gentleman is a crook. But they went ahead. This is classical example of corruption, which anybody who is shameful will not be able to defend this.
Interesting.
You will not be able to defend it. You see this issue of Jida that he's referring to, that Abu Pele was used as a scapegoat. There are a whole lot of them in the NDC who were involved in this. But that particular, because look, there was no way they could hide as far as that incident is concerned. So they had to use that particular guy as a scapegoat.
Interesting. Let's go back to
so
Brother
when
Siba.
it comes to corruption, NDC stinks. I'm telling you.
They stink.
NDC stinks. When
That's what brother from South Africa says. You're listening to Cable FM. My name is Fuad Umar. Go ahead, Brother Siba.
Brother Fuad.
Yes, sir.
I laugh. If you realize, you heard me laughing when he was making some submission with regard to that. I want to tell him, even the foundation of MPP and the ownership of MPP today is corrupted.
The whole system.
He should quickly go back to his backyard and find out how was MPP formulated. To who? By who was it formulated? And today, who owns MPP? He will get to know even the ownership of MPP today is corrupted or is by corruption.
Who owns MPP?
Because
who owns
there is no. Oh, he knows the current Danko family have taken it instead of ignoring the Jumbo and the Bujia family. MPP was formed based on 3 clans: Danko, Jumbo, and Buzia. Ask him that today, which of this is functioning? With the exception of the Danko, where are the remaining functionaries? Why are they silent? Most of them were assassinated by who? How they did? If you don't know the history, that when you squat claiming to be watching somebody's tasty, or the color of somebody's faces. Someone too is behind you watching your distance. If we should go back from the days MPP from UP tradition, Northern People Party to New Patriotic Party, how did it happen? Who were the formulators of it? The Jumbo is still alive. He's not dead. Thankful to God. There are 3 functionaries that comes to form the party. But how come? Why today only one functionary is functional? Why the silence of the 2 portion of it? Where is the Buzia and where is the Jumbo? And only the Donko today is performing. Anyway, that wouldn't allow us to go ahead on this. Maybe we'll find other time. Then I tell him the stinky corrupting. The stinky corruption of Akufo-Addo, where it started, this president, how it started, where it started, how it goes, even his grandparents, how I would just let him know the corruption is in chain. The action right away from his lineage, even from the bringing, sourcing, how they source fund to pay Nkrumah's loan, bringing Nkrumah, how come, I will tell him the stinking corruption lineage of the current administration, Akufo-Addo, which of course is reigning and is killing us as a country. He should go back and find out why the other 2 functionaries are silent. Why? Where are they? Why those 2 classes are not functioning today? Only one. That is a very big symbol and type. Look, Brother Rahman, politically, I'm a Ghanaian, I'm a Northerner, I know much, and I'm very closer to other districts. Because I'm from the JE, Brima. I hope you know much about it. From the Ababu and the Jaula distance. And Brother Fuad, before I go, as part of the corruption, because I understood so many things and many more things created by this administration. Nada and Baulaya, a senior liar. In Ghana, what you call Baume, they'll ask you is it the liar or which one are you referring to? Because everybody attests to the fact that Baume can't make good 2 sentences without a lie. There will be a lie into it. They said 1 district, 1 factory. Thank God there is one gentleman who has a very good vision in Ejura at the Dumasi municipality. On his own, sourcing loan, constructing a cassava factory. And he was granted by the previous administration. And they are trying to sabotage this gentleman by trying to add it among the abundant important projects of JM, which Akufo-Addo thinks when it completes is going to raid him out of power. That project is there uncompleted. And today they are trying to commission new one, which was awarded by the Ashanti Regional Chairman, Wuntumi. Just within that same minute. If for sure this government is serious and really knows what, this guy is almost 80 to 90%. Because when you go tomorrow, Brother Fuad, I'll make a documentary of that project because I'll be going to Kumasi tomorrow. I'll pass by, take documentation of that part. The last time I was there, I whipped. Go and see the way the cassava is rotting. Go and see the way the project is purposefully, because they are just, what sort of unserious administration is this? Look at the clinics, Mahama concern. Look at the communities in all this old man that really need to rest.
You had mentioned
is abandoning it in the name of, he really needs to rest at this age, Brother Fuad. He really needs rest.
You had mentioned earlier that
even his health is
you have a
even
video.
the president himself is a liability to Ghana because his health consumption, his journeys to checkups, the sort of drugs and other things, Akufo-Addo himself is a liability to Ghana.
Is that part of corruption too?
Because he's
traveling for checkups.
I'm telling you, he himself.
It's traveling.
Brother Fra, what is the corruption? When you know,
so when you travel abroad for a checkup, is it part of corruption?
He travel with the state fund. He goes for health. All this. He really he had a corrupted mind because it's part of him. And today he's killing us. When you know you have to rest, you are still struggling, killing us a nation. Come and see everyone crying in Ghana. Tomorrow I shall send those videos of those projects to see how cassava is rotting. Go and see how, but they have abandoned it.
Send the video
Thinking
over to
of other
Kibla FM.
projects.
It'll be great, so we can share it to the listeners and they can conclude. Do well to send it to Kibla FM. We'll be looking forward to that. So, Brother Siba, take our time is up. Take the next 30 seconds and make your final remarks, and we head over to brother from South Africa, and then we go back to the gentleman in United Kingdom. Go ahead.
What I'm having to tell you now is I would like to have a chat with Brother Amwa behind the scene.
Okay.
Because as a party, since he's far away, before he comes to such programs, it has been a while. Sometimes he reads. He doesn't have the real feeling. As a party, we have a communication team, and for sure, he have to contact us so that we will give him the necessary tool to silent Brother Rahman, as he has been making noise always here and there and there. And Brother Fuad, there are about 2-3 important issues I've raised, which of course it needs attention. How the foundation of MPP being corrupted, the silence of the other two clients, Buzia and the Jumbo. Why silent? I would like you to make it a very clear topic between Brother Rahman and myself. He should go back to study his house before he turned back, or else I will tell him much about his house on air in the market where everybody will know for sure. He don't even know much about his house.
Interesting discussion.
Afterwards, the next topic I really want you to take is about the one district, one factory project. It's really hurting. The cost of the project, when I compare it with that of the John Dramani Mahama community-based senior high school, go and look at that warehouse. Tomorrow I'll send you a documentary I covered at a portion where the sword was cast. They even commissioned it with the duplicated ministry, the duplicate of all ministry. When I say that, do you know that ministry, Brother Fuad? Do you know the duplicate of all ministries in Ghana?
No.
That is the Minister for Special Development Initiative, Honorable Hawa Kumsim.
Okay.
She is the duplicate. If there is a Minister of Health, and this minister is also sharing or distributing ambulances, when there is Minister of Education and she is roaming building schools, when there is Minister for Water Resources, she is there constructing boreholes. When there is this tells you that a clear corruption. She is something created. It's just a job for the boy. It's something created just to loot the state together with the old man who really need to rest, who is almost lacking or losing his thinking. So I call her the duplicate of all ministries. I call that ministry as the duplicate of all ministries. Brother Fuad, I really want to get engaged. You know, I always follow and comment.
Yes.
I hardly find time like this. The house is getting interesting. I really need to get engaged with Brother Rahman.
You're always welcome.
Brother Rahman, make much research about your home. I would like to meet you once again on this line.
Thank you.
On issues of your home. Why the silence of the two clients? Thank you very much, Brother Fuad. My regards to Amma and others.
Thank you so much.
Goodbye, listeners of FM. Thank you, Brother Fuad.
Thank you, brother from Ghana. Awesome. Just brilliantly put. Now, brother from South Africa, Brother Abdurrahman, you take 1 minute and submit your closing remarks. Go ahead.
Good. Bradford, this brother, obviously he knows nothing about the NPP party and its tradition. He doesn't know anything about the NPP. You see, he's referring to Buzia, Dombo, what. Yes, that is a tradition of the party, but that is not NPP. It was UGCC, and then Northern People's Party, and then the current NPP. It's not the same. It's just like the PNDC and then the NDC. Those are two different entities. Now, you see, I've said this and I'm repeating it again. Any NDC person, all the NDC executives, they are not able to sit one-on-one and discuss issues without name callings and insults. But you see, we in the MPP are a very decent people. We don't insult, we state the facts, and then we state the facts as they are. You cannot compare the NDC MPP. When Jerry John Rawlings left power, the very last day that he left power, when President John Agyekum Kufuor came, he immediately abolished the cash and carry system. And they claimed to be the Social Democrats, and yet people were paying to go to the hospital. President John Agyekum Kufuor, His Excellency, decided to replace it with something else. So many initiatives that never existed in Ghana came into being as a result of the NPP good governance. So you see, for us in the NPP, we don't resort to insults. If you look at all the allegations that he made, they are just allegations. He has nothing to back them. Nothing, absolutely nothing, zero to back any of the things that he says. So for me, Bradford, I would gladly like you to choose a topic. And please let this guy come on board. And then we should stay on the topic without personal attacks. Because you see, I can do better than that.
He said he's going to cut you to pieces.
Decent people listening to the program. So if I start calling names, calling John Mahama names, you see, I'll be provoking other people. And I don't want to do that. I want to remain decent as the NPP is. I want to be an embodiment of the party. He is an embodiment of the NDC, and their stock in trade is insult. We don't do that. In the NPP, no. We state the facts, and we back whatever we say with the facts. And Brother Amwa, the brother is trying to recruit you. He's on a recruitment mission.
Brother Amwa Kuhene. Yes.
You see, he's trying to recruit Brother Amwa now.
You want him to recruit me, isn't it? Because you tagged me already.
He said you already tagged him already. So, he doesn't need to be recruited because you already tagged him.
Yeah, he said you should contact him in chambers so that he can give you facts.
He wants to pass him.
That alone says that, brother, listen to this. You see, that alone says that he's insulting Brother Amwa. Brother Amwa, the gentleman is insulting you indirectly because he's saying that you have nothing to say. That is why he's telling you that you should contact him in chambers.
No,
so
actually,
that he can provide you with facts.
This is what I
for
think
you to be able
he was trying to imply. He was saying that some of the points that he's making, he would like to share some of the info with Brother Amakohene so he can get
so
more
that he
familiar
can
with,
silence me.
He can silence you because
so that he can silence me.
That's reinforcement.
Meaning that, brother,
it's a reinforcement strategy, so it's all good. Brother,
his name is Curious, isn't
it? Yeah, Brother Siva. Brother Doraman, our time is up. We appreciate your contribution.
Thank you so much.
We look forward to having you on air the next episode.
And Siva should stop deviating the next time we'll meet.
Until then, stay peace. Awesome, brother from South Africa. Now we head over to Brother Amakohene. Take the next couple of minutes and submit your closing remarks on this episode of Political Open Discussion on Kibla FM. Go ahead.
Well, thank you once again. Yeah, I heard both of them, do their politics as usual, which is nice. Nobody insulted anyone like Rahman was saying. Sometimes it's a banter. To say things like that too. Sense of humor. But, as usual, politics. Brother Rahman saying, "Oh, he never back with any evidence and all that." The same thing he does. You know what I'm saying? So my friend was saying there's someone got about 13 air conditioning in his house, use government money. That is true. It's a fact. It happens. And you know who defended that guy?
Who did?
Kennedy Japan defended him. Kennedy Japan. He said the guy was right. He was there and all this and that. So, and all his followers start supporting the guy at the same thing. I mean, the guy used 13 air conditioned 2-bedroom house. For what? He spent so massive money for renovating the house. Even the money can build a new house. And according to the quantities, 13 air conditioning for one single house. Brother Rahman said something about Muntaka. That was true as well. We call Chinchinka. I mean, when he was Deputy Minister of Sports, I think something went wrong and Atamil sacked him as President Atamils. Ironically, you know what happened to MPP when they came?
Mm-hmm.
They say the different guy, young guy, is a Deputy Minister of Sports. And they had the same problem. They went to, I think they went to Australia as a visa fraud, and that one was vice deputy minister. So when Brother Rahman talked about Muntaka, I thought you were gonna talk about the NPP guy as well, but he didn't. Conveniently, So both sides, when they get chance, they will do something which will help the nation. What I'm saying, we citizenry, we need to wake up. We need to wake up. By the way, a brother from Northern Region, I don't have to see you because I'm not NPP supporter. I'm not NDC supporter, nor MPP supporter. I just say as it is. I say how I say it.
Maybe the details, the info that he wants to share with you would just...
because some of the allegations, me personally, maybe I will use it. But for him, he will use it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The way he put it, like Rahman was doing, I won't do it. If I'm not convinced or if I don't believe it, I won't use it at all, whatsoever.
Right.
So even I see you become propaganda. I'm not, I want to be objective as much as possible because I know the politicians in Ghana. There's too much. What can I say? There's too much propaganda. Mm-hmm. There's too much lies, and I don't want to get myself into that. I don't want to get myself involved at all. So when I see the evidence, when I see the explanation of the person who alleged, and I can make my conclusion out of that.
Right.
So anything I say, I know that's what I say. So Rahman was more political coming from the other side. I wasn't coming from any side. So conveniently, for him, MPP done nothing wrong. He mentioned NDC this, NDC that, NDC that. But you are talking about corruption. And both sides. Why the guy from Northern Region, I like him a bit. Because at least he admits something. He admitted something. But Rahman was too political. He painted MPP as an angel. By the way, I keep telling Ghanaians, you should wake up. We should wake up. You don't listen to the politicians. Like I said, they made so many sort of allegations, accusations, and they said when they come to power, they all be apprehended. But none of them, they're all working around now. So it looks like they were telling lies or they didn't know what will really happen. It was propaganda. Because none of the NDC appointees were even put to court. None of them. They're all around. By the way, my brother. I mean, I think I got to leave you here today.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, and
Thanks for joining us.
yeah,
We appreciate it.
thank you, sir.
Hope to have you
Thanks.
on air the next episode. Brother from the United Kingdom, just special. Log on to our website, www.kiblafm.com. Grab the details on how you can become a part of this presentation on Kibla FM. Corruption. You can find them everywhere. But who has the most in the system? The NDC government, then, or the current MPP government under the leadership of His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo. You've heard the views. Next time, get on the air and bring yours. Until our next presentation, my name is Fuad Umar. I say you have a good night. Peace.